Welcome back to Walkie Talkies podcast, where you have superstar Racheal Quigley. You've played everywhere.
Yeah. I'm old.
Here we are. Do you want to give us a bit of a blurb about you?
Yes. About me or about my career?
Bit of both.
Okay, bit of both.
You are more than just an athlete.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's where I was going with that one. So I'm 32, female born from Adelaide, in case people didn't know, because my hair.
Spring chicken.
Yeah. So obviously grew up in Adelaide. Love music, love sport. Was always very sporty. When I was born, my dad wanted a boy and asked the doctors if I could have a sex change. So here we are. I'm very sporty, very big tomboy. So dad kind of got the boy he wanted. I grew up North Adelaide, so lived in Ingle Farm for most of my life. Started playing soccer when I was about 4 years old for Ingle Farm Junior Soccer Club. And we started with the boys. There was no girls team. And soccer was the only sport that would allow me to play at such a young age. Because none of my family ever played soccer. So dad was sort of footy, mum was cricket, I think. Yeah, so it was a bit of an odd one, but I started when I was 4 and then loved playing against the boys. And then I think it was when I was like 12, I had to go across and play with the girls because I started doing state teams and stuff. So yeah, that was a very long time ago. Since then, obviously, I've been able to travel, play for Adelaide United and play for my home club, which is always fun. Apart from that, like I still trying to find out what makes me tick in regards to a career. So I've sort of gone through a few careers, but here we are. Here we are.
Young Matildas, 2007/2008.
Yes.
Malaysia, you went. That was with every famous person you know. Basically.
Yeah.
How was that? Do you remember that?
Yeah. It was a while ago, but that was like my real taste of international football. So prior to that, I had just been involved with the state teams ever since I was like 11. So then I was 17 at that point. And it came from actually doing really well in my very last state competition. So went to Coffs Harbour, was leading goal scorer for the comp.
As you do.
And Sam Kerr was in the comp.
Yeah, so you're basically better than it.
Holding on to that for the rest of my life. Yeah. I would. So that was pretty amazing. And so I got identified that way. I know there's always a lot of especially young girls going through the state comp, they don't know if they get opportunities through that, but that's pretty much what happened with me. Alan Stajic was our coach, and like you said, there was a lot of big names in there. Traveling by myself for the very first time at 17 was like scary. There were 2 other South Aussies with me though, so Angela Famano, who doesn't play anymore, and Sean McLaren, who I think lives in Sydney now. So it was nice to have people from Adelaide come along.
Bit of home.
But it was incredible. Like to wear the green and gold, like it was just, there's no other feeling for it. Like it's pretty mental. And that feeling is just something that I chased my whole career after that. Yeah. But no, it was a big eye opener to, what football could become.
Yeah. Your first stint at United was 2008.
Yeah.
2009/2010 season. Did you get the MVP?
I did.
Yes.
Wikipedia
pulling story.
So 2008 was the very first W League season, so I was in the inaugural team. Pretty amazing. Yeah. Well, it was incredible. That team was pretty unreal to me because my idol was in the team as well. So Di Alligic, just like a South Australian legend. Do you know who Di Alligic is? That's right.
I feel like I've definitely heard of her, but I have no idea. Like, if you showed me a photo, I'd be like, yeah, no.
Yeah. And look, and you know what? She was like my hero growing up. And I know that, that never really holds on throughout the years, I guess. So researching Daliage. So the Aliage family is quite large in SA. You got Richie Aliage, who also played for Aliage United, and then there was Di. So Di was a Matilda, a defender, but I idolised who she was as a person and as a player. And to have like my first taste of professional football at United alongside
like
this person when I watched I don't know if it was like Olympic qualifiers, there was something going on, maybe Asian Championship in Adelaide one year when the Matildas played, and I reckon I was like maybe 15, 14, 15 with my best mate. We were there, and when Di came along, like fangirled hard. Got a photo with her, and it was my screensaver for like 2 years. So then, you know, a few years later, it was surreal to play for the club that like I loved, always when I supported the boys, but to also play with mine. It was pretty special. But yeah, so then that next year, she actually retired, and I stepped up, which was really cool. And her brother Richie was our assistant coach, and so he really helped me that year get to a solid fitness, solidify like the player that I am, and ultimately I think he really helped me to get that MVP.
And then not the next year, the year after, 2011/2012, goal of the year. Apparently a great little. This is a kick thing.
Where's your source from? It was it was an interesting one. I remember it like it was yesterday though. It was we had Dave Edmondson as our coach, and look, all those years we like really struggled to build a foundation at United. It's been evident throughout every year, but that was a game against Perth, and it was just, man, I had the worst haircut ever. I had like shaved here, but then it was like a little bit longer here, but then longer here. If I showed, man, it was horrible. So my celebration, all I see is my hair, and I'm like, but no. So it was a scissor kick. The ball had sort of come across, like a little bit of a lobbed ball from MJ, and just instinct sort of took over. I've never done it in my life.
In a Karate Kid, you just
pretty much.
You just have to go for those though. You can't think about them.
Well, it's the opportunities never come up again. And that was the first time ever. But like when I was growing up, I used to go to my best friend's house and we would like practice it on the trampoline, like stuff like that, right? But to actually do it in a game, to pull it off, to actually score against Mackenzie Arnold, just going to put that out there as well. The brick wall. She was like 12, but that's fine.
I'd take it.
It was pretty mental, and I think like if you saw the celebration, like I'm just like literally couldn't believe it. So to win that,
like how is that even real? But
seriously,
that's why.
It was just another level, and then to receive that award in front of all the A-League players and W League players that came to the awards night.
Did you have a feeling you were going to win it, or like?
It's just like no one's done that. You know what I mean? Like it's that, and then.
And I was like, wow.
I was very nervous, and then probably had a few drinks at the awards night, and then had to go up and have like
do a speech.
Yeah, kind of, but it was like an interview speech, and I just remember sort of like, I made a few errors in what I said. I pretty much told everyone it was a fluke. Which then had Archie Thompson.
You did all those practicing years. When
Exactly,
you were like 6,
right?
So.
No, Archie Thompson was like, never say that it was a fluke. I was like, okay. But no, that was very special.
And then in 2013, you went to Kansas City.
Yes, for Kansas City Shock.
Yeah,
that was
going overseas.
So it was my big trip by myself. It's funny how it all kind of came up as well. Like it was literally like some guy was like posting on Twitter that he was going to create a team in Kansas, and my mum somehow was following him, and he was following the W League, and then my mum just sort of tweeted back like, "Hey, would you take an international player?" And then like that was it.
There you go.
And within 2 weeks, I was going to America.
Wow.
My flight got cancelled on the way there, which was terrifying. That wasn't fun. And then when I rocked up to Kansas, there was like like 8 bolts of lightning all around the plane, and I'm like, what is going on?
Sign from the universe.
Yeah.
It's like you didn't get the first one, but then like get it. So
literally.
Do you need more?
No, but it was an amazing experience. I actually loved Kansas. There's not a lot there, but like some of the relationships that I made with the people there were really cool. People love the Aussie accent. I don't know why. Like, I find us so bogan.
Wow.
But when you're around a lot of Americans, it's actually kind of fun.
Yeah.
So I just remember trying to get to a club
the
once.
accent on like more.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I tried to get into a club once, and oh my God, the bouncer wouldn't let me in because he wanted me to keep saying his name. His name was Mark, but obviously everyone calls him Mark. So I was like, Mark, can you please let me in the club?
He's like, wait, what was that?
Yeah. But nah, it was a really cool experience. And then to see sort of the level that the Americans were, it's a lot more physical. It was faster. I almost felt out of my depth in a way. So it was a great experience to sort of see what was, I guess, that next step.
And then came back to United.
Yep.
For a season. How was it like going over there and adjusting to that, and then coming back and then adjusting back to like normal life? Yeah, I think
it had me, I guess, like present myself a bit more professional. And I think that was the first time where I was like, this could actually go somewhere. So it was really cool. I think I became more of a leader after that, which was really cool. I came back and Ross Alabasi was our coach. And he was great in regards to like trying to get the best out of us. He was very motivating. Some things we won't speak about, but so that was really cool. And it was just, I think I was like very passionate at that point.
And then you moved to Melbourne for a couple of years.
Yep.
Part of Melbourne Victory, and then Barundara.
Yeah, that's that one. So my Melbourne stint, I went over to play for Burundara. So they had just been promoted into the Premier League in Melbourne. And they took over me, Alex Gummer, who was playing at United as well. And they were signing a Scottish international that had also played for us. So we were going over as a trio. The Scottish player sort of went back to Scotland. So that was tough. It's tough for like anyone to sort of go into a newly promoted team in a very good, NPL setup. So I think for me, the Victorian setup was a step up from the Adelaide NPL. So going over there again, like with my being more professional, I took on a bit of a leader position there, and successful enough to then sign for Melbourne Victory. Which was huge for me because Melbourne Victory had just won the W League that year before. So
you're like, wow,
I sort of was just like, I was going into these trials blind, like not knowing what anyone else had sort of thought of my ability. Being in Adelaide, you can be, I don't know, you can kind of get stuck here.
Yeah.
But as soon as you venture out, it's just like, okay, like then you start to put yourself up against other players. And like, I got to play with Steph Catley. I got to play with Lisa DeVanna. I got to play with Brie Davey. Like, I think that year was probably the most that I grew as a player, as a person, like the whole lot. It was like incredible.
Yeah.
So that was really special. And then our coach was Joe Montemuro, who for me is like probably the best coach I've ever had. I would love to see him coach at the Matildas because I think he's unbelievable. What he's done at Arsenal, what he's done at Juventus, he's a machine. I mean, what he did at Melbourne City as well. So that year was pretty special. And then I ended up signing for Boleyn, which I loved. The club, the Veneto club, is this big Italian space that, I don't know, they just live and breathe football, which is really cool. So then I played out that season, and about mid-season I ended up having a really bad injury. Yeah, so I tore my AC ligament in my shoulder.
That's bad.
I got tackled, and then the ground separated my neck and my shoulder, and I was out of the game for about 3-4 months. So then coming back into the W League, Joe had made the jump to Melbourne City. It was the first year Melbourne City were a club. And he was just pulling all these players.
Yeah.
And so I'd been in contact with him previously. We'd spoke about signing me back at Victory, but then he made the move. So then I was in conversations with him again. My rehab just took forever. So I ended up getting to play one game. I played in the very first Melbourne derby, which was really cool.
How cool was the atmosphere? Was it like...
Man, yeah, it was another level. And like, yeah, because look, crowds weren't as big then.
Yeah.
But for that game, it was pretty huge. City was still quite fresh for the men, so they didn't have a huge following. Whereas Victory, the Victory supporters are nuts, and I love that. And I actually loved playing for Victory. But the caliber of players at City was like Kim Little, who's incredible, Jess Fishlock. Steph went back over there. Giovanna came over. We had Lauren Barnes, like Stoddy. Like it was stupid. And literally didn't lose a game. And it was really cool. So I got to play the one game, but I got to train with them the whole time. I've got my medal from like at the end of the year because they obviously won everything. So that was like again really special, and it was heartbreaking that I couldn't have been more involved because of the injury. But Melbourne was incredible. I honestly loved it. I just ran out of money and had to come home after that.
Everything there is so expensive for what reason? But here we are. Then 2016 went to South Korea.
Yes.
I cannot pronounce that. Can you?
Hwacheon?
The team? Yeah.
Yeah, so Hwacheon KSPO. So this was the crazy thing, was just like I felt like I took like 3 steps backwards with my injury. And then that next year I had the biggest opportunity of my life.
Everything happens for
it's
a
nuts.
reason.
And it's so funny because I was home in Adelaide and I got a random phone call on WhatsApp by this like Korean American.
You're like, is this a scam?
100%. I was just like, he was talking to me saying like, this team really need a striker. They've seen footage of me from W League. Minimum pay is like $30,000 USD. Would you be able to come over in the next like 2 weeks? So why 2 weeks again? And I hung up and I was like, Mum, I'm pretty sure it's a scam. Like women don't get paid that much. Like, but we did our research, had a look online, and
he wasn't a prank caller.
No, he wasn't a prank caller.
In the end, stop scaring me.
I mean, in the end, he was actually a very dodgy agent, but
here we are.
I got a cool opportunity. So I just did it as well.
Gotta go for it sometimes.
I just never, I knew nothing about South Korea. I knew there was a North, I knew there was a South, but I knew nothing. And it's probably been like one of the most amazing experiences of my life. That first year was incredible. I was leading goal scorer for the whole league, but we didn't make finals. But yeah, it was really cool. I ended up getting paid about $55,000 USD. And then also got game bonuses on top of that, like 500, 750.
Go back and live in Melbourne.
Yeah. All accommodation was paid for. It was just that there was very little balance between like your outside life and football. Yeah. It was just
You're
football.
there.
Yeah. Which I hadn't experienced before. But like I loved it. It's all fast paced. It's very technical football, which always that caters to my game.
Yeah.
But no, that was incredible. The language barrier was very tough.
Yeah.
I had a translator that she didn't really know football. Man, it was so funny. In the very first training session, she thought she had to be with me the whole time just so that I could hear what the coach was saying. So we're in a passing drill and we're like doing like these laps of this square and she's running with me and she's pooped. Like she's not fit. She was like, I was like, Minjae, you can sit down. Run. It's okay. Like football is football. I'll watch, I'll play.
You get it eventually.
But like tell me what he's saying after. And then I sort of used her as like my way of being able to communicate with my teammates to show them I was funny. Otherwise it's like
tell them this joke.
Otherwise I've got no idea, right? But no, it was really
just start laughing.
Yeah. But it was really like they're beautiful people.
Yeah.
I fell in love with South Korea so much. And there was a stray dog that I also fell in love with that I miss dearly. It wasn't stray. I actually found out it lived on a houseboat. But every home game I would go and see this dog and it would get so excited to see me as well. It was beautiful. It was a very big love story back in the day. But no, it was incredible. Loved it.
Was it hard adjusting to like their culture and the weather and
yes and no. I think I really like this about myself, but I found that I was very open to everything. So like all the food, I took it on board. I really tried to learn a lot of the language.
Can you speak?
Oh, some like "Kunchana" means like "Are you okay?" And then to respond,
it sounds so cute when you say
and like "Tekiowa" is like that's fucking cute. Like there's just little things that I learned that I loved. And I really yeah, but I spoke like Korenglish, so it was like half and half. Just it was hard. But I had like friends that were playing in other teams, and like they were just having like chicken and broccoli every meal every day because they just didn't, you know.
Are you a bodybuilder or what?
Yeah, pretty much. Whereas like, man, give me like, I mean, my teammates would. Man, they would make me eat the spiciest stuff and not tell me, and I would be like crying. But I had the best time. Like it was just such an amazing experience. Like I'm so glad that I really took that on, and I think, especially as a female footballer at that time, you know, money wasn't huge. That was great, but it was more like the experience that like I'll live with forever. Money comes and goes. No, but. No, it was definitely difficult. Like I said, it was that lifestyle that was hard. But there was so many positives out of that first year. Yeah.
And then came back to United.
Yes.
What was it like coming back from South Korea back to Adelaide?
Well, I was like the fittest I've ever been. So because Korea was so humid. I came back into the Australian heat and I was like, oh my god, like this is what it feels like to be fit. Because before every summer I struggled with United, especially over this, like when it was so hot and like we would have to play in like 37-degree heat sometimes.
1:30 kick off.
Man, and the ref would go off with heat stroke, and so they would just replace her and we'd have to keep playing. Like, so that was one huge difference that I really felt. And we actually had a baller team then. Like we had these 3 Americans, Sofia Huerta, Dani Colaprico, Katie Norton, and then we had Brazilian for the first time, Monica, amazing. They were such a huge like plus for us. And then the rest of the team were actually like, most of them were Adelaide girls, and we haven't had that for such a long time. We constantly keep trying to pull players from interstate and everything, but I actually feel like, you know, that year especially, we really pulled from, you know, our grassroots and what we had. And that was where I met Kelsey as well. So
and the rest is history.
The rest is history. So that year was incredible. And I think if we had a full home and away, we actually would have really pushed to win. We were unfortunate early on to have a couple of injuries. But apart from that, we actually did extremely well. We beat Sydney like 5-2 in the last game. Like we were on fire by the end of it. So, and that's what I got to play with Chitty. So Alex Chitty, I got to play with her again. It was the Quiggy and Chitty show, which we loved. So that was really special. And I felt like I played one of the greatest W League seasons that I have. And at that point, Alan Stajic was head coach. And he actually, you know, made those comments like, oh, Quiggy, like, you're looking fit. Like, and I was like, man, is this it? Like, my whole life I've been pushing to get back into the Matildas. I got dropped from Young Matildas when I was maybe 19, and it destroyed me for a little bit. And from then, it was just like, I just wanted that back again. And so this was probably the season that I really felt like I deserved at least a camp. And that didn't come. And
that would have been hard.
It destroyed me. I think that was pretty much the end of like my professional career. Because then I'll probably jump you a bit. I went back to South Korea because I had signed for another 2 years, which was also hard because I just decided to date Kelsey. So we did long distance.
Like, but I'm actually leaving. So
literally,
sorry, but
it was hard. It was very hard. And we did the long distance for however long I lasted. And I lasted about 4 or 5 months until I got severely depressed. I was very lonely and secluded. We had an American come and play in the Korean team, which meant like my Korean teammates were kind of like, oh, you have someone that speaks English. Like they didn't try as much anymore. And I found that really difficult because the first year they were so accommodating. They would take me over to their families' houses, and you know, it was beautiful. And then that last year, I was just like, I was probably crying every day.
Mm-hmm.
My football I was not doing well. I have never been so like down in the dump before.
Mm-hmm.
And it was obviously there's a portion of it that was really hard that, you know, someone that I really liked was still back home in Adelaide.
Yeah.
And then it was daunting. I've got another 2 years here. But then also I think I started to question why am I still playing? You know, it felt like I was never going to get a go with the Matildas at that point. And that was like heartbreaking for me and a big turning moment, which was unfortunate. But it also, I look back now and it's just like I've done so much work on myself since then that maybe that needed to happen. Yeah. My whole identity was football. But now,
I'm more than just
I'm more than football.
And then here in the local league, Metro 2018, Inter 2020, and then 2022 with Westies, you won the treble. Incredible.
Unbelievable.
How was that?
It's so crazy. So obviously when I got back from Korea, I was a mess.
Mm-hmm.
It took me a long time to be okay. And so went to play for Metro. We won the minor prem, which was awesome. And I got to play with some really solid friends that I've had for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was actually a little stint back in Melbourne during COVID. So COVID kind of killed us a little bit. That's how I played with Alana Janczewski and Apolline, which was great. But yeah, so then it took probably like 2-3 years for me to like get back to myself again. And then it was during COVID, I came back. There was that short stint with Salisbury.
Mm-hmm.
Went back to Melbourne again, pre-season, played a few games under Katie Friend, but then COVID hit again. And it was actually through that COVID that I probably grew the most. I started doing a lot more just running. I hate running. I'm a striker. Like I don't want to run
a marathon.
Yeah, literally. And so every single day, you know, during COVID was hard. I lost my job pretty much. So I was, you know, me and Kelsey doing cold swims every morning. I quit drinking coffee, so I only drink decaf now. My anxiety disappeared.
Magical.
Insane. I ran like 10K straight for the first time in my life, and I've never been more proud of myself. Like that was probably one of my most proud moments throughout my whole career as well. So I broke down a lot of barriers. So then when I did return to Adelaide, I really wasn't sure who to play for. I hadn't been to a few clubs. Like I played at Fulham, I played at uni, I played at a lot of clubs. And then it was just like, had a chat with Nicole Tilley, and it was just like, Wesley just ticked every box that I had. And when I went out there, it was just like, it wasn't even just the football, it was just the environment that we were in. Like everyone that was there, we like genuinely loved each other. And I've never felt that in a team before. And that just transferred into how we played, which was it was unbelievable.
Unstoppable.
Man, it was stupid.
I remember like, let's start late.
It was.
I remember when NTC reserves pulled, like, because I was part-time with them, and then we pulled you guys for the cup semi-final. And
wait, you guys did well though. Yeah, that year.
Not bad considering, not but
bad.
Like yeah. And then I remember we were in the change rooms, and we got like we were watching the cup draw on the way to training, and then we all rocked up in the train like. West Adelaide, like, are you joking? Like,
man, nothing.
We could have pulled Burns. No, we pulled these like incredible players, and we're all just like,
it was unbelievable.
Like, oh my gosh!
It was that year was just insane, and like I've got some of the like best friends that I'll have forever. We've still got our group chat from that year that we still talk to and try and do catch ups and stuff. But it was so special, and then to get right to the end. You know, City almost took it from us from at the end, and I think it was they were very close. And to be fair, they played so much better than us in that last game. But I just felt like it was right. That we got them there. Yeah, and then to finish up and to have received the Player of the Year, being Team of the Year, and I got Golden Boot as well. For me, was that when I was on the stand, I cried because. It's not W League, but for me it was such a huge a huge accomplishment from what the last 5 years had been. And people were probably like, oh, why is she crying? It's just NPL. No, it was so much more than that. It showed where I'd come from, how much fun I'd had. And like, it was just crazy because I just felt like it was so easy. Like my teammates made my jobs.
Football again.
And it was beautiful. And so it's funny because every week Tracy would do like an MVP at every game. She didn't give me like one until the last game, and she was going to give it to someone else. I was like, Tracy, I just scored 4 goals and I still haven't received an MVP. So then I got tired with Mel. So I didn't actually expect it at the end either, which was very special. I don't think I'll ever have another year like that. Although this year's been fun. But
you never know.
So that was like, it was very special, a very special team. I would have loved to have played against United then as well. I feel like that would have been a lot of fun.
Yeah, that would have been They probably didn't do that for a reason, but here we are.
But we want Hodgie and Andy. We'd have to take them.
Yeah, well, they're part of your team, so
exactly. Yeah. No, it was like I can't stop smiling about it. That year was amazing. Yeah.
And now you're part of the Adelaide United All Stars team.
Yeah.
You've played in how many of the Anzac Day games?
I think there's been 4. So there's Anzac and Remembrance. Yeah. I think it's been 4. For me, again, so special because it's with all these boys that are idolised.
Yeah.
So, like, obviously before there was a women's team at Adelaide United, there was the boys and, like, Racheal, Cassio, Dodd. Like, all these players that, you know, I would always go to the games and just be, like, in awe of them. Yeah. I get to play alongside them. They're old and, you know, they're all dads now, but they're still brilliant. Yeah. Like, Flores is still kicking butt, man. Yeah. He's unbelievable. So, it's been really special to be around them and for them to take me in as one of their own as well, which is really cool. So I've actually really enjoyed being part of it every year. And I don't even care that I'm like sometimes the only girl that's out there. Yeah. Because it's just, it's really cool because I feel like it's a bit of a legacy as well. And to be part of a club that I was with for so long. For a long time I had the highest appearances until a year or 2 ago. So, it's very special to still be involved with the club. I think it's really important.
Superstar.
Yeah.
So you've been kind of all over the place with like football all over the world. What's your favourite place that you've been to?
They're all so different.
Yeah.
But like if I go with like a completely different culture, like South Korea was incredible.
South Korea first time.
Yeah, first year. Yeah. And because I played for Hwa and Kerspo and so we lived in Incheon, but it was about 2.5 hours from our home field.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and you just bust everywhere. It was pretty, it was hectic. Korea was nuts. And I get car sick, so that's
but
we'd bus everywhere, and our games would be at 7:30 at night. We'd play the game
2 a.m.
Literally. We'd be most of the time we'd have to do a recovery session the next morning as well. It was cooked.
6 a.m.
Anyway, it was an experience, but it was where the army base was because up in Hwa is actually quite close to North Korea. So we'd have all these army guys come to all of our games, doing all. It was it was just to get around women's football. So that was, and again one of the biggest stages that I had played on. Was really cool, and I just felt like I got to be my most authentic self there as well. Maybe because I didn't know what they were saying about me, so I didn't care.
Okay.
I would do
talk behind my back.
Literally, I would do games, goal celebrations, and be doing these ones. I did the Running Man. I didn't give a shit what anyone thought. Whereas here, I'm yeah.
Let's go into Attaboy.
Attaboy, yeah. So last year I did a barber course. Don't ask me why.
Why not?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Why not? A very good friend of mine owns Attaboy. He was also a footballer.
Cheeky plug,
Attaboy.
Yeah.
Robbie Lippert. Yeah, he's worked very hard on Attaboy. Had a similar career to me as well. Got to play in England, got to play in the A-League. And he's like, he fell in love with barbering and hairdressing, and he thought that, you know, maybe it was something that I needed to do. He knew that I've never really known what else to do outside of soccer. So I gave it a crack, and there's parts of it that I really enjoyed. I'm a bit of a perfectionist. Yeah, I don't know if I'm the most creative, but I love the process. I love the processes of it. So I did my course last year, jumped into just cutting hair just casually. But I loved it. Like, we got to cut hair at Vintage Vibes at a festival. That was a lot of fun.
That just screams you, like.
Yeah. Literally.
Like, I feel like you go to a party, like go to a rave. Just like, you want a haircut? Let's go.
Literally, I started at 45 4 weeks ago, and the guys want me to cut hair in there as well. I'm like, yeah, hell yeah. I think it's a great skill to have. I've worked in a coffee shop for a long time as well, so like, I can make coffee, I can cut hair, you know,
just an all-rounder.
Jack of all trades, right? It's so funny, I think, because I keep trying to find that thing that I loved as much as football, and I don't know what it is. I haven't found it yet. But I also believe that, like, if I don't try something, I'm not going to get anywhere. I'm just going to stay stuck. So a lot of people,
until you try.
Yeah, exactly. So a lot of people, you know, probably say that I've sort of jumped around a few things, and there's a few decisions I'm currently trying to make right now as well. But I just feel like it's got to lead you somewhere, or get you to realize, you know, things that you like more.
Do that.
Yeah. And so, being part of Attaboy and being part of that team was really cool as well. I made a lot of, like, really good friends. But then there was still that in the back of my mind, was just like, do I want to be a coach? Which I think everyone always kind of, you know, gets that, especially from playing. And I don't know that, like, I've ever wanted to coach a team, but coaching individuals was, like, a really big part of my life this last year. So I ended up pulling back from Attaboy and jumping into one-on-one coaching.
Your own coaching business.
Yeah, it was called Football with Purpose. I'm currently unsure which direction that's going, just because I don't really know what I'm doing right now.
Whatever happens.
Exactly.
Yeah, go with the flow.
My bank account doesn't like that, but that's fine.
Here we are.
Yeah.
It's fine. You're gonna get boosters from.
Yeah.
So Boost, we're actually gonna have a chat.
We'd love sponsorship on walkie-talkie.
Yes.
Fueling the athlete.
The person, because they have more than just the athlete.
That's a catchphrase. But yeah, no, cutting hair is great. I literally came from cutting someone's hair this morning, so I do a few home jobs. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, you want a haircut? I don't do women, sorry. No, I just don't do long hair. It's very hard.
Just give me a buzz.
Yeah, that's what I did this morning.
Don't convince me.
Just get all the shave bit here.
No, we're not going back.
No, okay, fine.
Been there, done that.
Moving on.
Yeah. You're a little travel bug. You recently went to Europe.
Yeah, man, this year has been full of it.
Yeah.
It's been nuts.
Gone everywhere.
Man, I'll start you with the year. So we started off the year, Kelsey and I went to Innis National Park. Incredible.
Lovely.
Man, killer. Great spot. Right in our backyard. Awesome.
Yeah.
And then was playing with Westies for about half the year, and then ended up going to the snow for the first time. So I went to Mount Buller.
Make a snowman?
Kind of, when I fell and hurt my coccyx on the first run. Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
So I didn't have the greatest experience snowboarding.
But you went and you experienced.
It was fun. Kelsey held my hand for the rest of the time. It was fun.
Just looking after you.
Exactly. Yeah. Has to now. I'm a bit old.
Yeah.
So So then after that, we ended up going. Where did we go? We did a little trip in Melbourne where I got my C license. So I got my coaching license. And that was amazing because I got to do it with A-League players. So pretty much we all had to coach a particular session, but we were also the players. So I got to train with these A-League boys, and then it just it put a fire in me to play high level again. And that's where, and I'll get to it, but I'm considering going and playing in the UK soon. But yeah, anyway, we can talk about that later. Yeah, so Melbourne was amazing. Then we went to Splendour in the Grass in Byron. Kelsey's a photographer, plug her in as well. Yeah. She got to shoot all the artists out the back.
Sick photographer.
Which was unbelievable. I got to meet some of my favourite artists, which was really cool.
Thanks, Kels.
Yeah. Living the rockstar life, not a thing. And then after that was the World Cup. So,
wow, you're living it up, aren't you?
I have no money. This year has robbed me. So, Alex Chidiak, one of my best friends, was able to supply me a ticket every game, and Kels got to shoot at every game she wanted to. So she had the best seat in the house, but I got to be in the Chitty Parade, which was really special, very special for both me and Kels, because Chids is such a good friend to us. So to see her on the world stage was pretty amazing. And then the Matildas kept doing so well, so we had
you just had to keep going
and going. We had tickets like booked, but then it was just like, oh, they've won. Like,
they're going again.
Are we going to Brisbane on the weekend? It was like $1,000 ticket each for flights.
Wow.
But we did it because
once in a lifetime.
Seriously. And we got to see a lot of them, like the girls, after the games, which was really special as well. So to have been able to play with so many of them, like I got to see Steph after some of the games, and like they look exhausted, but like, man, they had so much pride, and like it was just like such an emotional experience because the whole of Australia got around them, which was unbelievable. So yeah, there was the World Cup, which like I spent a lot of money at. Yeah, and then after that was Italy, which my goodness,
looked
like
incredible.
Oh man, it is.
It's literally a movie. You can't. Yeah,
but only from my hero.
Those are my favorite.
No, Italy was. Italy was incredible. I've never been to a place with such like incredible history. The monuments, the buildings are like, it's surreal. Like you just can't believe it. And we went from like the top to the bottom, went up. Joe Montemurro, who's now coaching Juventus, helped us out with a ticket to a Juventus game. So now I'm a Juventus fan. That game was incredible as well. A couple of VAR disallowed goals. And then Juventus. Oh my God, it was incredible. But then Juventus scored in the last 30 seconds of the game.
Oh my goodness.
We went mental. So that was like...
That's like a stadium.
Man, like, and just an experience that was just like unbelievable. You don't get that here. But no, like Italy was... You get like a coffee and a croissant for like €2.50. Here, you're not even... You're getting a croissant for like $7.
Yeah.
Yeah. So...
and they're not even real.
Yeah. So like I would 100% go back to Italy again.
Yeah.
Incredible. Yeah. So I've got a bit of a travel bug at the moment, which is why I am considering to go and play in the UK.
Exciting.
Yeah. So I'm not... It's very different reasons. It's not that I'm going to go chase for the highest level possible. It's to get that experience. Like while I can still play, it's just a dream. Like I feel like Italy was amazing, but like England, you know what I mean? Like they just live and breathe it. So
English football. Yeah,
it's just something that I'm still considering. Obviously, like I am a bit older now, and Kelsey and I may be looking to buy a house, and we've really just got to consider finance and things like that. So it's like, do I chase this dream of wanting to go and play over there, or do I actually really work my butt off here and start to make some money? It's tough.
Life. Yeah, it's scary. You have to be serious sometimes.
Yeah, I'm not ready for that. No. Yeah.
Yuck.
Yeah.
And then this year you started working at Cedar.
I did.
Hectic.
It was.
I feel like that was such like a, do you wanna come join? And literally, here we are.
It was. So Megan, one of the teachers, I was making her coffee every day. She gets an extra shot, flat white or something like that. And
she's probably watching this, but here we are.
Yeah. I hope I got a coffee order right.
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry if I didn't. So it was just so funny that she brought it up one day. I'll be honest, like I knew Cedar from Melbourne. So in Melbourne, Cedar was around.
Yeah.
But I did not know that we had one in Adelaide. It is obviously very new. It's only been around for like 5 years. And I didn't actually know what it was. And so when Megan explained it, I was like, why am I not there already? Like
why am I not studying there?
Yeah. Oh man, I wish that I had CETA growing up because I really struggled at school. I didn't finish school, which then also like when I started CETA, I had like imposter syndrome. Like I honestly felt like how am I going to mentor these kids? I didn't finish school. I feel like I'm still a kid.
Yeah,
I'm obviously not. But I really surprised myself. And I was able to create some really like strong relationships with these kids, and they're like, I mean, you're not kids, right? You're about to be adults.
Young adults.
Yeah. And I just found the role really powerful as a student mentor. Again, I wish I had that when I was younger. Would have helped me out a hell of a lot. To have someone to be able to speak to about anything.
Just a whole nother level.
Yeah, and then to be able to share that football experience stuff as well.
And I think that's what, like, some people from other schools that I know, I say something and they're like, that's kind of weird. And I'm like, no, but it's not because, like, it's different. Like, the relationship's different.
Yeah,
and then
100%. It's just because I never really got along with my teachers that well. If I had someone that, I had something in common with, like someone that played football or someone that, knew more about life than I did, I think it would have been really beneficial. Yeah. And like non-judgmental at all. Like I love being able to go in there and just, every day is different as well.
You don't know what you're going to get. You really don't.
Man, some days my buttons got
just swim in the ocean, but here we are.
No, but I've really enjoyed my time at CETA. The teachers are unreal as well. Like they're all PE teachers, right? Yeah. Like most of them are, which are normally the fun teachers. So
yeah, that was like PC, my teacher. He was like a primary school teacher, and I had to study for like this exam thing. It was like all this hectic maths, and I was like, yuck. And then I was like, no one knows how to do this. None of the teachers knew how to do it. And I was like, oh, for goodness sakes. And out of nowhere, he just goes, oh yeah, I'm a high school qualified maths teacher. I'm like, sorry. Like I've been trying this whole time, and you just like sit next to me like, oh, by the way. And I'm like, you were at primary school, a PE teacher. What?
I love that. Yeah.
But yeah, it's so unexpected.
Yeah. And I think CETA has a really good balance of teachers, mentors, everything right now, and it's growing. And I think it could actually become something quite big and actually, a great resource for those that want to focus on football. Right now, I think we still pull in kids that maybe think it's an easier route to get your safe. And I understand. And it is. Like, don't get me wrong, it is. But like I want it to be, I want kids to be there that want to take it that next level. Yeah. So that, we can start training, we can do these things. You get to do a prac every day. Yeah. That's killer. Do something with it.
I don't think bothered doing that.
Yeah, it happens so often. It threw me. But
I think that's what Cove did really well. They did like a performance prac and then a social prac.
Yeah.
So then people felt like they were heard and they could do
whatever,
Yeah. Here we are.
Yeah. Nah, I loved it. That's great.
Well, we had some questions sent in.
Oh.
There's some actual real questions.
Okay. Great, that's right. Hit me with all of them.
What's been your biggest setback in your football career?
It was definitely depression in South Korea. Because I never really got back into professional football after that. I only stayed in the local league where, I guess that has been my biggest setback because I still had so many years. But at the age of like 26, 27, I thought I was too old and past it. And that was again that again was just like a mentality that I just didn't need.
Block.
But obviously still grateful for that coming up so that I was able to grow from that. But it's definitely my biggest setback because I think my career could have been even bigger.
Your proudest sporting achievement?
It's a tough one. There's a few little ones that we spoke about.
It's the little things that you're just like, oh yeah, wow.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing for me was genuinely that year with Westies when we won the treble. And I think I was more proud because of just how much I enjoyed it. Like I didn't put pressure on myself. I didn't expect anything. And it became probably, my favourite season ever. So I think,
a happy person is a happy footballer.
Yeah.
A good footballer. everything in between.
Yeah, literally. But like, you know, I played W League. I won a goal of the year, and those moments were great. But they were so individual. I am a people person, so to have shared that with Westies was very special.
What were some key things that you had to learn to become a professional?
To be mentally like stronger.
Yeah. I feel like that's so like not underrated, but like people don't realize like
it's still got a long way to go. I definitely didn't have the support when I was younger to be able to help me through that. I remember being at, I think it was like a schoolgirls state comp, and I was mentally so unstable. I was cutting myself on the trip because I felt like I wasn't performing. Like I had no help then. So that was really tough. And so I don't mean, you know, to be just like strong and just to like take it on your chin. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like I think we need to have other avenues to be able to like express how we're actually feeling. And feel them. Feel them for what they are, and then be able to move on from them. I never got to. I bottled it all up and then it would burst. And I think that's something that I've seen a lot at CETA as well. And I think the sports psychology side of things would really benefit from being a bit more focused on.
And not just like, oh, you want to go talk to the psychologist?
Which I'm all for that. But I'd love for us to be able to give other parts.
That's not the be all and end all for it.
And everyone's different.
What was it like winning a treble? Like how hard was it? And the expectations after you won like 1 and then 2, were you just expected to win the 3rd? Was it like self-inflicted expectations?
So there's like 7 questions all in one. Okay, so let's start with, was it hard? No, because we were just having so much fun. Like it was the most fun I've ever had.
I remember watching and I was like, yeah, that's football. Like, and they're not yelling at each other.
No, we were
like and celebrating together.
Man, we loved it. And that's one of the very first teams where I've been with players that have genuinely like wanted everyone else to succeed and putting, you know, not putting others before yourself, but you know, not being aggressive, bringing them up, right?
Being a good person.
So it was easy because of that. The expectations, obviously, like, so we lost our first game against City. We lost like 5-2, 5-3, and we were just like,
what the heck?
And then we didn't lose after that.
Everyone was like, what the heck?
And then we didn't lose after that. It took some time for us to gel, but then once we clicked, it was unbelievable. So I guess the first one was winning the minor prem, which when you're just looking at the numbers and you're seeing it go, and as long as you keep winning, no one can catch you. So that was almost the easiest one.
Did you win it before the end of the year?
We won it after a game at uni, and we had some champagne and we were celebrating. It was so good. Man, I've never celebrated so much in my life. 3 celebrations. Man, and like our celebrations were like unbelievable. Oh man, like Silly Saturday, we were Simpsons themed.
Oh my goodness,
hilarious. Photos. And then end of season trip, we got a house down at Sellex, and it was huge. It had all of us. It had all of us sleep there.
Oh,
and
goodness.
The fact that everyone was there, everyone turns up. There was no one that, you know, took an easy route on The Simpsons. Like we had yellow paint everywhere.
Like if you're gonna dress up, you're gonna dress up.
But sorry, back to before we won. So then the next was the cup. That's obviously tough. It's different. It's not the league. It's just getting them through.
Everyone.
I think we had. Our route wasn't too bad. I remember we had to play against Cove. I think we ended up winning 12-0, but it probably could have been like 30. Like we were sort of just trying to play with each other and make it enjoyable for them as well. But by the end, obviously, it was against City. Man, I think we played City like 7 times that year.
These guys again. The second time they'd be like, easy. And then it kept getting harder and you're like, again.
And look, Adelaide City will always have the culture they've got. They have, and like every time I've played in Adelaide, they've always been, the team to beat. So it was definitely a tough game, and I think as soon as we got, I think we won 3-1. As soon as we got that last goal, I was just like, oh my god! I think I did this celebration, it was So then we celebrated at Lissing after that one, and then with the final series, it was tough. So we had we finished off the season really strong. And then we had a bye.
Yeah.
And that's when
it's
so bad. So we had a bye, and then City, whoever's Inter, all had to play each other. And then we came back and we had to play against City. We beat them quite convincingly. I think that one was 3-1. I can't even remember the cup now. So we won that game. So then we had another bye. So over a month, we've had 2 byes. City they keep getting to play every week, so they're pumping. I swear I was unfit after that. So then by the last game, we definitely didn't play our best football.
Yeah.
And they, they were on point. They were killing us. I think my goal in a way, I listened to Archie Thompson. It wasn't lucky. Obviously, I made a run and put it through. I made a run, and Alice has just tried to knock it out wide, but she's hit it into me. And then, this is not luck, little dink over Claudia.
You did that.
Yeah, and I think we all knew that was it. Yeah, if we're going to score, that's the only goal we're going to get, and we've just got to, and we held off for the whole game. They were fighting so hard, but to hear that whistle at the end and that relief, it was unbelievable. And then the celebrations after that were
ridiculous,
insane. There was
still celebrating.
Yeah, and I could talk forever about that year. Yeah, it was the best.
Perfect. So that's it. We have some rapid fire questions.
Oh god, I wasn't expecting this. You didn't send me these.
No, I didn't. I sent them to Alana and she's like, I want them to be natural, and I was like, okay. The first one's not very rapid because everyone's like,
Oh no, I'll be rapid.
Are you sure? You're rapid. But
I don't have a filter, so I'm just gonna say whatever pops up.
Describe yourself in 3 words.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Funny, enthusiastic, charming.
Charming.
I told you I don't think before I speak.
Tea or coffee? Decaf.
Decaf coffee. Yeah.
TV shows or books?
Ted Lasso. Killer.
Yeah. Dinner in or dinner out?
Oh, I like both. I like going out for dinner. Yeah, but I do like going out for dinner.
Crocs. Yeah.
Don't
even else.
I made sure everyone at Westies had Crocs.
So you apparently brought back the trend from South Korea about the Crocs. That's what I've heard.
Yeah, it's true.
Maybe from the sources.
It's true.
Here we are. What are some of your hobbies?
Obviously I love listening to music. I love dogs. All about dogs. I guess I'm sort of cutting hair as a hobby these days. What else do I do? I love Sudoku puzzles.
Really?
Yeah, is that lame?
Oh wow.
Yeah,
no,
I love puzzles.
Not lame.
Yeah, get my mind going. I think it's just being a Capricorn. I just like to do that stuff. Yeah, are you judging me?
Chocolate or lollies?
Chocolate.
Are you on the bandwagon for the dab?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. The dab never died.
It never dies.
Favourite boots that you've worn?
Boots, couple Mondials. Always the best.
Favourite stadium you've played at?
Oh my goodness. I love playing at Amy Park. Amy was killer. Great stadium.
Go-to hype song?
Oh, the Veronica's Untouched. That is my jam.
And do you have any hidden talents?
Interesting. I don't know.
You're a really good dancer.
No, not even.
Karaoke.
Man. Nah. Oh, I can bang some Christina Aguilera.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I think secret talent, I think.
I feel like your talents are out there.
Really? Yeah, there's no secret. I don't have a secret. I think maybe just being my authentic self. Yeah.
Perfect.
If you say that's a talent.
Oh wait.
Oh God.
Why is everyone scared? Do you think you're gonna bash me?
Yeah.
I got some giblets.
Oh my god, I love that.
And oh my gosh, have you got them on?
Of course I do.
You can have two, so then it's even.
I love that.
I'm
oh my god, that
convinced,
is fantastic.
Glow in the dark.
Oh my god, this is the best thing ever. Okay. Oh man, this is very tough. Oh my god, I do love.
I can't believe that like they actually like glow. I'm baffled.
Oh my god, what do you think is the cutest?
I don't know. Oh my goodness. See, I've got some.
Yeah, what do you? Oh, that's killer. Yeah, love it. Oh, the snowman's killer. I think I'm gonna go with a penguin. I'm very much like an animal person. And I think they kind of like match up. They could be like a cute couple.
Like,
friends.
friends. Yeah. Well, perfect.
Amazing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Having a chat.
Loved it.
Didn't go for too long.
I couldn't
Didn't
talk
waffle too much.
hours, man.
Perfect.
Perfect. You're welcome. I don't want to put that on the table, do I?